Okay, so I think my next two questions, have you presented better ways of proceeding on this project to the state? You just answered as yes, and have answered that before. Had they been followed, you don't know yet.
Well, Director Selig said that they are in the process of trying to pursue.
We just presented them, so. To your knowledge, what was the worst problem we ran into in this project in Arkansas?
I actually think that's kind of been discussed a lot today, even with Director Selig. I think, kind of the prime vendor notion, the one knows the punch, I think I heard.
So management.
Structure.
Management structure or lack of.
Right.
Okay. And
Structure on the project, structure of the project.
and who is most to blame, in your opinion, for us not having that done correctly? Did y'all recommend that we do that early on?
I don't think we could make an
Did
observation on that.
Did IBM recommend early on that we go that direction? Did you notice that there was a problem and before this last week and direct that we should have gone this other direction?
I would answer, IBM recognized early on and made some recommendations that were adopted that there need to be controls on the project, where there's a consolidated view, as Mark said, of the issues.
But not a project manager, not a prime contractor?
To my knowledge, no, that didn't.
No, you didn't recommend that.
That didn't, I think we were probably, what I'm trying to describe is more the characteristics and the role that prime contractor would have played, recognizing that there wasn't a prime contractor.
Should you have recommended that?
I think we recognized the characteristic, identified some of the elements of what that prime contractor role should be, in hopes that some of the other vendors or state would take on that responsibility.
Could you repeat that? I'm not sure I followed you.
I think we understood that given the timeline and the fact that the prime contract discussions with Meridian fell apart, that that was a foregone conclusion that there wasn't going to be a prime contractor. So what we focused on rather was recommendations of some of the roles and some of the activities that typically a prime contractor would do, and try to make those recommendations.
Thank you.
Could you provide a timeline beginning when you first came on with the project up to the recommendations that you made last week? Can you provide a timeline of all of your recommendations throughout that period from beginning to the ones you made last week?
We can do our best to recreate that time.
Because you said you had multiple conversations. I was asking a while ago who the point person was, and I heard you say you had multiple conversations. So I'd be interested in a construction of the timeline from the very beginning up to the recommendations you made last week that we just heard about today in this meeting, of what those recommendations were and when they were made throughout your contractual process.
Yes, we can try to our best to reconstruct that.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We'll recognize Senator Cooper, and then we're going to bring the next vendor up before we take a break for lunch. Senator Cooper, you're up.